What was the moment you realized you were crazy enough to try this?
What, musky fly fish or start a fly shop? I feel like they're what's crazier?
We didn't realize we were that crazy, and if we would have realized we were crazy, or how crazy it is, I don't know where we would be today.
A musky fly shop, that will never work. That's a terrible idea, like straight to my face.
Well, I think I talked a lot of shit about Dan and Jen and Musky Fool when they first started. So what are the Figure 8 Chronicles?
I mean,
well, the challenge with trying to capture muskies on video is you don't see them very often.
you fly fish for muskies? Are you nuts? And we're like, well, yeah, I mean, look around. And we think it's normal. The rest of the world still thinks we're a bunch of idiots.
Well, life has nearly killed me, and my mind has put me on the edge. Life has nearly killed me, and my mind has put me on the edge. Though I can barely crawl, I've got to walk where these angels feel a tread. Darkness nearly drowned me. Sunlight alone, don't it burn my eyes?
What's your honest opinion about this documentary that we're filming called The Figure 8 Chronicles?
I do sometimes think that maybe going to the places that hold the biggest muskies in the world is a little bit of a fool's errand with a fly rod. I think it's a little bit of a waste of time. I think it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of work to do on top of something that's already hard and a lot of work. So it just magnifies the work.
I should have said something about just wanting to fish rivers and not all these giant fucking lakes.
I don't know.
Cup is nearly empty. Got such a long way to go.
I think it's pretty sweet. You know, in the year and a half I've been here watching Dan and Josh grind and get their asses kicked, I think that it'll be awesome to have it on video and, you know, see the ups and the downs. It'll be cool. I'm excited.
This valley is much too deep. Mountain so very high, I gotta lay down and rest where I can.
You know, on paper, it's like a little bit of a fool's errand, but that's kind of like what we sign up for when we go musky fishing. So I'm excited to see, you know, I'm sure like behind the scenes, people won't see how long it took and how many like bumps there were in the road and times when you go out there and just don't see any muskies. So yeah, excited to see how it kind of shows the real grind of musky fishing. It's a long one.
Yeah, what? Why did I like condone this series? I was like, do it, chase your dreams, go fishing.
Would you rather?
The Figure 8 Chronicles is when Dan and Josh ditch me and I work and they go fish for muskies.
Testing, we're in the fly shop.
I'm ready for you, big dog.
Okay. Okay. I think it's probably different to me, different for every one of us, but I think it's possible to get a world record on the fly. I think it's the only thing left in muskie that's possible.
Okay, I think we're good. All right. I have no idea what the figure eight Chronicles truly are. I don't think anyone at the end of the day will be able to make fun of us because we will have already made fun of ourselves.
No, seriously, it's
The conventional gear records were faked, or so be it. That's what we assume. So they're literally impossible because those fish might have never existed. The fly fishing world record, we've seen those fish. It's possible.
The quest for me is like, I'm not out there probably to catch a world record.
on the surface, it's Dan and Josh on the quest for a trophy muskie, aka banging their heads against a wall while filming.
It's that drive, that competitive drive to know what's possible, what you're capable of.
But I would like to eventually see a very, very big muskie get caught on film with a fly rod.
It represents so much more, I think, for us as Musky Fool on the mission that these guys are on.
It's going to require a team. It's going to require all of us at our best. And even then, we're going to need to get lucky as hell.
When we first started filming muskies, I think the goal was to just get a muskie on film and call it a day and maybe put like a 5-minute video on the internet and pat ourselves on the back. I think I wanted to impress you guys. I was like, these are the Musky Fools. I'm taking them to the surefire.
I'm taking them to my spot. We said on the drive up, what's the most you've ever caught here? And you were like 6 in one day.
Yeah, like when you park the boat, you know you're going to catch muskies.
Yes.
I remember that trip. It was very overcast, misty, and rainy, and we had went a little while without seeing a fish, and I was kind of getting nervous. Because normally, like, you go there, you go to the spot, you're gonna see something within the first 15 minutes, and it had been probably an hour before we saw anything. And yeah, then all of a sudden, like, things started happening. They started popping off. I think I got the first one. And then Jen and I might have been going back and forth getting fish.
Jen listened to you, and I did not listen to you.
We had our program, but it was just like we were.
And I believe you guys caught 4 or 5 between the 2 of you.
How many more muskies to catch?
We gotta get 3 to break the record today.
Until I finally listened, grabbed the fly.
Started the program?
Yes.
Did we get 6?
We got 6.
We were going for 7, 8, 9.
And we were just giddy in the back of the boat. Like, I remember catching these micro muskies and holding them up
Yes, doing the
as close
stretch.
to the camera as possible to make them look big. We had just gotten a Sony camera.
We had just gotten the Sony
like,
camera, you're right.
We didn't know what we were doing.
We didn't have GoPros.
We still don't know what we're doing.
We still don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, it was a great day. Fantastic.
It was the kiss of death almost. Like, oh, this was so easy. I mean, clearly we went to the easy. We went to the mini golf course, but fast forward to the jet boat crash.
That was when Bam crashed the jet boat.
I don't think it's a bad thing when Bam Bam comes out.
Generally one of my peak fishing moments, I would say, is crashing that jet boat.
Well, the last time I had run that section was in my old jet boat. That was a tiller steer. And I hit that at full throttle and was able
made it
and was able to navigate that tight corner.
And I think you were telling us that about Little Bam Bam and how you've because I was like, there's no way Bam Bam. Because I've seen someone try it in a jet boat 2 years prior at Treelands, and I literally was like, don't do it. A, you're gonna spook fish, and B, it's not possible because you're gonna hit the fucking log and you're not gonna make the turn. And I hear the jet boat fire up while I'm on the lake, and I hear.
We were flying through it, and I turned to Dan and I was like, yeah, this isn't a good idea. And then
I just hear the crash.
It was like a split second later.
Yeah, you like went up on land and then it like settled back. And like the sponson pods became like talons. They dropped in.
Should I get out?
remember it was kind of funny, like right when it happened, but then 20 minutes in when that boat wasn't budging and it was all quicksand.
I didn't think we were gonna be able to get the boat out, but we did. I mean, I didn't, but I videoed.
That was,
Couldn't be
I
more
will say
different.
that was like the softest crash of all time, though.
Which was a mistake or, you know, a reason for a great story.
Get yourself a wife that drags a boat for you.
Hi, my name's Dan and I don't wear waders. How nice. I'm
Sorry to help, but I don't have waders
Hi,
on.
my name's Dan.
I'd love to help, but I don't have waders on right now.
Only a little bit longer to go, guys.
And then, what always I feel like gets misremembered is we got the jet boat out, got through the river, did not go home. What did we do? We went and caught a muskie.
We banged a muskie.
Yes, exactly. Which is just like terrible. Terrible. We did not learn from that mistake. It was like, do more stupid shit like that.
I'm glad we did it, but I would never do it again.
What was the moment you realized you were crazy enough to try this?
Some days I think it's a fly shop, and some days I think it's chasing muskies on a fly. But, you know, I had just quit my job, and I remember exactly where we were, what we were doing when we decided to go in on the fly shop.
We started Musky Fool. We came up with the idea in July of 2020. Went live with our website September. I think people thought it was a bad idea, or just like a silly idea.
We've been called names, probably names I can't even say.
Without a track record or success, no one believes you, or no one sees what you see. And so we just pushed on. I think anytime we called, oh God, anybody, a rep, people in the industry, they were like, oh, no.
Industry people out of the gates, we're trying to buy product from them, and we tell them what we're doing, and they're like, a muskie fly shop? That will never work.
It's a very vulnerable thing when you're an entrepreneur to just start from nothing and put yourself out there and tell people you're gonna do this.
Back then, I didn't feel like it was crazy. We were naive.
The way Dan and I were thinking about the business was so different from, you know, what you might typically see in the industry, and so it was. I think it was just so foreign and not accepted, to be honest.
And then there's also the times where you're like, they're totally right. This is the stupidest thing. You know, I wish I would have listened to them.
But our intentions were right, and we weren't gonna take no for an answer. And if any entrepreneur took no for an answer, well, then they're not an entrepreneur anymore. It's over.
Muskies, though, you know, my immediate memories were being in northern Wisconsin with my dad and uncle and some of their friends and guides up there. And people think it's stupid now. They really thought it was stupid back then. So I don't know. Some days there are days when I don't think either are crazy, and then there are days where I think that it's all so crazy and it's just the most world's stupidest idea. A fly shop for muskies, fish for muskies.
So what is this quest really about? A fish, a shop, or something bigger?
I think one thing I've always seen, and this is where I think it's the same answer for the shop and the Figure 8 Chronicles is
to have an impact on the industry so that we could have an impact on fisheries. And that's just the reality, right? Like,
you know, the reason we started was not to sell gear and make money in fly fishing. That's a joke. Not even to like be self-employed and entrepreneurs and all that shit. It was this thing that was so core and dear to me, muskies, Wisconsin, these places that muskies exist in Wisconsin, the culture. It just felt like it was kind of falling away. It wasn't the same even from when I grew up, and it probably has changed a ton since even before I was born. It used to capture people a whole lot more. It used to be much more part of our culture, and it doesn't feel that way anymore. And I think that worried me as I got older about what that meant for the future of these places. Muskies, Wisconsin. If nobody cares about them, nobody's gonna be there for them, and they're gonna disappear. And yeah, it was a Larry Ramsell quote. I remember that kind of seeped in and poked me. He talked about, well, one way that I'm gonna butcher it, but he's like, one way that, you know, we're gonna stand up and help protect muskies in the future is we need businesses, we need economic activity, to be in this state based on these fish, celebrating these fish. Because without it, you know, that's what makes the world go round.
It sounds great to stay, you know, only focused on our local community or, you know, hunker down on just Wisconsin. But if we didn't have the customer breadth that we do across the United States and internationally, we wouldn't have the impact as a brand, as a business, to actually care about these fisheries, to make conservation be at the forefront. And so I think that while it might look like it's a selfish endeavor where people are like, oh, you're just so big, like, one, we're really not that big, and two, if we weren't this big, we still don't even get to scratch in what we want to do in terms of conservation. So that was such a driving force for us in pushing past who we could reach as a business.
And I think that's what kind of gave us the idea for Musky Fool, and it was always and has been the purpose and mission of Musky Fool. And it's the same with this quest. It's, you know, kind of bringing this story to a bigger audience. Does everybody need to musky fly fish? No, but sure want them to know about it. You know, when something happens to these rivers or these lakes or these flowages or the Great Lakes, you know, remind them of how special one little thing is, muskies, and what we need to do about it. And, you know, it's just a small piece, but, you know, so that was, I looked and I was like, well, that's the piece I care about. And if I can get other people to care about it and think it's cool, even if they don't want to go be idiots like us and fish for them with fly rods, you know, can muskies at least stand a chance?
But then I will say too, another driving force that I don't think we even really realized at the time, but once we got a taste of it, there was no going back, is the people. Like, the team that we've built at Musky Fool, the people who show up every day for us, for Musky Fool, for this community, for our customers, for conservation, for these fish, it's the best team. It's the best people in the world, and I would never go back. As hard as it's been, I can't even imagine our life without this in it, to be honest.
How did you and Josh meet and start fishing together?
Well, we met, he might know better than I, but I believe we met at Treelands, Musky Fly Fishing World Championship 2021. And we obviously had talked on the phone, we had talked on social media. I knew who Bam Bam was. But I believe I met him in person, hung out with him for the first time at Treelands. And yeah, I don't know. We connected right away, man. We're very different, but we were on the same frequency.
The way I remember meeting Dan was, well, I think I talked a lot of shit about Dan and Jen and Musky Fool when they first started. And then I kind of like stalked them on the internet. And eventually I started like learning more about them, their backgrounds, the shop more, their mission. And I was like, oh, I might be sold on this whole deal. And I reached out to them, I believe it was through Instagram, and started messaging. And then eventually our paths crossed at the Treelands Fly Fishing Tournament, and we instantly became fast friends, and we knew we had to be in a boat together and go fishing.
And then it wasn't much longer after that, he was throwing the first Fly Tires Rendezvous. It was all his brainchild, he put it all together, and I remember coming up and just seeing Bam Bam in his element. And Musky Fool's a thing by now. Bam Bam's not working for us at all, part-time, full-time, none of that. Yeah, this will probably get me in trouble, but like watching everybody else just like not help him. He's carrying the whole load, crushing it, organized. He's got baskets for everybody that shows up. He's got everything designed. I mean, just like killer level. And everyone else is just like milling about. No one's even like giving him a hand. And I think I started to, because I was like, dude, this is killer. You need some help? And you kind of remember looking at me like, yeah.
Dan is fearless. That's what I admire most about him. A lot of people running businesses, you know, they kind of like get into some situations that can stress people out, but Dan hits it head on. So he's fearless for sure. He's very analytical.
and he can use both sides of his brain quite well. And then I would say persistent.
And then it wasn't like later that night, I was like, man, we kind of, again, we're on the same wavelength. We're a good team. And then like trade shows, he came down, started as guiding for us and like helping us with all sorts of things, especially when we had to bring the brick and mortar to life. Like that's when we really needed to overhaul stuff, and new website and graphics, and he was crazy. He believed in it all the way back then. He started out part-time, and then, you know, freaking Blacktop, man. I mean, that's when we became blood brothers.
Holy fuck! Holy Jesus fucking Christ!
Let's talk about your perspective of Blacktop. Give me the whole shtick.
My perspective of the blacktop fish was, it was a pretty standard fishy looking late, I think that was November, like a late November outing with some good pals. And we were on one of the best rivers I know. We knew this place pops off in November, but little did we know what was upon us that day.
You took me to a spot I'd never been before. We had a sweet lunch.
I cooked lunch on the shore.
Yeah, on like the big gravel bar. You took some cool photos. Like that spot, I was just like, oh my God. This is like where a 90-inch muskie lives. Like if there is a giant, it has to be here. We had 3 boats that day. Jake's boat was in the picture. Steve-O's boat was in the picture. And Shamu was in the picture. That's when the landing was closed. Led Steve-O to go put in up top in the morning. We went down lower while they did that because they were going to come down to meet us. So Gabe and Nick had to peace out then?
Yeah, they had to peace out.
Which left, and Steve-O.
And Steve had to peace out, so we all piled into my boat. We went back up river, but then we lost power with the trolling motor. So that's why we had to row Shamu around. And we also thought it was perfect because we wanted to be quiet.
Correct.
We knew it was a good spot.
And we knew because the Steve-O's boat had like moved that fish that morning, but it was the same day.
Yeah.
They moved it in the morning.
And Dan was casting into that spot. He just frickin' put the beans to this fish.
Holy fuck! Holy Jesus fucking Christ!
And when she first came up, it was just one of those fish that literally takes your breath away, and you know that this is either the fish of a lifetime or pretty damn close to it.
Holy shit! Give us the
Fish just took off like a torpedo.
I thought you was an angel. You flew away just like a bird. I thought you was an angel. You flew away just like a bird. Our trip to heaven was a detour through hell on earth.
I'm just hurt from the muskies not coming out when I want them to. And I've been fishing since May, putting in my time, being a good little girl.
You've been drinking?
And I have nothing to show for it but a stupid company.
Oh, wow.
that you might as well just call Pike Fool.
I tripped to heaven was a detour through hell on earth.